It's disgusting. People's reactions to the situation were disgusting. People's treatment towards V8 was disgusting. Hey guys, welcome to the second elimination video of Project 7. Also my fault there wasn't and won't be episode 7 review. Life happened so I wasn't able to make it, but we should be back to normal posting now. Again, if you don't know how this works, I'll show the top ranks, as well as the others. The ranks based only on Korean votes and then one based only on global. I'll give my predictions for every top 7 member, some of the top 14 and comment on some of the lower ranks. If there's a trainee I don't go over, feel free to discuss about them in the comments. However, before we continue, I do want to talk about a controversy that happened in the Project 7 fandom. It was either earlier this week or late last week, but a post of V8 during practice was made, and the poor kid got massive waves of hate towards him. Obviously a handful of people began to defend him, and that's when people started spreading that his mom was a shiny Seezang who used her kids to get close to idols. I'm not here to confirm whether that's right or wrong, because what bothered me the most about this topic is that the focus shifted entirely away from this literal child getting death threats and vile hatred thrown to him towards how crazy his mom is. And when the possibility came up that his mom is using him for disgusting reasons, people's focus wasn't on the literal child but rather a save shiny save so and so, or oh my god, this is so crazy. It's disgusting. People's reactions to the situation were disgusting. People's treatment towards V8 was disgusting. And to what started this whole domino of events, people kept using the dumbass excuse that, oh, when I was 13 years old, or I have so and so who's 13 in combination with they, I wasn't so immature, so childish. Dude, shut up, you sound so incredibly stupid and creepy. Have you seen or been around 13-year-olds, like ever? Will you be able to confidently tell me that every single 13-year-old acts mature or doesn't act childish? No, you can't, because these are children, genuine children. In many parts of the world, V8 would still be in middle school. In the US, he'd either be a freshman in high school or again still in middle school because of his birth month. You're really going to tell me you haven't come across 13-year-olds who can read the room, who have been too much to be around? And this not to say V8 can never be criticized or called out, but let that be done by people he's close with, by his teachers on the show. And while definitely not their responsibility, by his teammates if they want. Not by a random on Twitter who is probably not much older than him, and frankly definitely not more mature, who wants him viscously bullied by a huge group of people. This entire situation has genuinely radicalized me, and it really is not that deep, but it's really put into perspective like all the literal children that have debuted in the past. I've always been against minors, especially this young, debuting, but up until now the 14 and around that range debuting were close to my own age, sometimes even older than I. But seeing this from an older perspective, even though I really am not that much older than V8, it's so jarring, it's shocking, it's weird. And if the rumors about his mom are 100% true, I pray that V8 is okay and that he comes out unharmed. He shouldn't have been on this show, period. Regardless of age, his skills don't make up for it. And seeing how he's treated now, all this poor boy is getting out of it is the idea that he can never be a kid, he can never have fun, he can never try to cheer up his friends or teammates. This is a kid that still wears matching Kuromi pajamas to bed, who maybe didn't act the right way to lighten the mood of his team but had right intentions. Dude, this whole situation is so disgusting. It's made me think of all the other idols that have gone through this, especially female idols who have gone through way worse. Idols like Nikki, Wonyoung, Hein, Wonhee, Sulli and Crystal, and so many more. How many idols have forced themselves to grow up because they were soon as too immature, as too childish? How many children were robbed away from that time period of being able to make mistakes and discover themselves? Again, maybe it's not that deep, and to a point I'm hypocritical for standing groups with people in my age range since I also am a minor, but I just really had to get this off my chest since it's been bothering me the entire week. I'm sorry for the long rant, but here are this eliminations rankings. Okay, let's start with the predictions. Minwook ranking has been pretty comfortable for a while. While he dropped to second 1 week, the fact he got it back signals that his solo fanbase is somewhat strong. It shows that at least enough people want him in the final lineup to have replaced a trainee with him in their 7-member votes, or that his fanbase locked in enough to push him back up. I will say we probably will get dramatic ranking changes next week since the voting pool has dropped from 7 to only 3 trainees per vote. I still think Minwook will remain safe pretty comfortably in the top 3 for the most part, but I wouldn't be shocked if he drops, possibly the lowest to 4th place during a progress check. Next is Kenshin. Honestly, I see 2 scenarios potentially happening. I haven't seen many Kenshin solo voters, but something tells me the 3 trainee vote can be beneficial to him. With that being said, the amount he gains or drops based on the 3 vote systems will be his make or break. If he drops by a lot, maybe 6th and lower, he most likely was just a safe vote, and this is when I'd lock in and panic as a fan. If he drops to 4 to 5, it's worrisome but not dooming. If he remains in the top 3, he's pretty much chill. It shows enough people still want him in the top spots. Overall, this progress check will be his make or break and will be a better gauge at his final rank than what this elimination can tell us. Kyungbei ranked 3rd, which was exactly what I said would happen in the last predictions video. I think he's in a similar situation as Kenshin. We won't really see his fanbase potential until next week's progress ranks, but I still see him in the top 7 and potentially a top 1 contender. I really wouldn't be surprised if he barely make it in though. Yujin was in a similar spot during Boys Planet and he barely passed in 9th spot during the final. Yujin ranked 4th, which was again what I said would happen. I'm telling you guys, I'm psychic. Honestly, I still think 4th will be his peak, but seeing how Kenshin and Kyungbei might be impacted with the new voting limit, I potentially see him taking one of their spots. Seungho, Sungmin and Ma Jingxiang have similar situations. Their Korean votes are great, but their global votes will probably be what makes or breaks them. Especially Ma Jingxiang and Sungmin, both of their global votes are frankly not good at all. If I'm being honest, it's not looking good for Ma Jingxiang. He probably won't be eliminated in the next elimination, but it'll be a super close call when it comes to the final. With Sungmin, I still see him ranking comfortably enough, but he'll definitely be hard carried by his Korean fanbase. With Seungho, I have to be honest, I haven't seen much of his solo fanbase. He'll probably drop in ranks, but I'm not too sure on him. Moving into non-top 7 trainees, obviously ranks 8 to 14 are the most likely to jump into the top 7. Some of the standouts are Jungwon and Jiwoon. I think they're the most likely to make into the top 7 and potentially debut. Some trainees I think will probably drop further are Bing Hue, both Hyunwoo's and Minseo. Some other standout trainees I want to talk about are Attila and Indy. I think they'll have an increase in ranks once solo voting comes out, but if I'm being honest, I don't see them cracking into the top 7. I definitely see both of them in a J situation. I think either could peak in the top 14 and maybe crack into the top 7 at some point. That's more or less all of the predictions I want to include this time. If there are any trainees you want to talk about, feel free to comment. I'm sorry I didn't post a review last week, but everything should be back to normal now. I'll see you guys next week. My picks this week: